What's going on, good people? It's your boy Trouble T Roy, getkickswholesale@gmail.com. GETKICKZWHOLESALE, the number 1 at gmail.com. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Just wanted to bring you a little bit of a different video. Again, more encouragement and kind of just to help you realize that life is really short. And I think we take advantage of it and we spend majority of it doing things that we're not happy doing or that we don't want to do at all. Like for instance, this morning, I'm recording this video on my way to work. Now, you may say, well, what does that have to do with anything? And well, it has a lot to do with a lot. And the reason why I say that is because, and I mentioned that life is short, is because, like I say, we spend most of it doing what we don't want to do. How many of you get frustrated every morning or evening or midday whenever you have to go to a place of employment that you don't love, that you don't enjoy? You know, it's a dread being there. You know, you wish that time would move significantly faster while you're there during your duration at that place. And I'm one of those. I'll admit it. Like, I hate my traditional job. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for it, but I don't like it. And here's why. And I know this message doesn't appeal to everybody. Well, I guess which of my messages appeal to everybody? You know, and I'll be specific. You know, everybody's not meant to do what I'm about to say, but everybody should be in a position where they can be happy. And you'll get what I'm saying and why I'm saying that. My thing is this. You know, I have a family, I have children, and my personal job like gets in the way of that. I just came to a conclusion, and I thought about it really hard because, you know, things got to make sense to me. Again, that's a lot of that is predicated upon this channel. Like, you know, the content that I do is predicated upon things making sense. And what doesn't make sense to me now is if, say, you're a family man, you have, you know, again, you have children. 9 times out of 10, majority of us are away from our family 8.5, 9 hours in a day, right? While we're away from them, we're making somebody else money, making somebody else rich, so we can get a paycheck to provide for this family that we're away from. Then when we get off or when we get home, we only really get to spend a couple of hours with this family that we have. Because you work all day, a few hours, then it's time for you to sleep. And you sleep, some of us 8, 7, 6 hours at night, get back up, do the same thing. And you're only allotted weekends, some of us not even weekends or weekdays, the time that you have off to kind of spend with your family and your friends too. So say if you're single, you may not have children or whatever, but you want to spend your time doing something productive or some things that you want to do. What I've come to realize is that a personal job doesn't allow me to do that. Also realize that a personal job understands your value, and they try to compensate you for something that they can't compensate you for. Troy, what are you saying? A job pays you to do an assignment within a time frame that you're there. So essentially, a job is paying you for your time. That is the worst exchange in the history of the world. Because time is invaluable, it's priceless. You can't get time back. Money you can get back 1,000-fold anytime. You can always get money back. But time is not something we can get back. Once that time is gone, it's gone. Once money is gone, you can make it again. So jobs realize that your time is valuable. However, they buy it from you cheap because you don't realize that your time is valuable. And then you wonder why you're so fatigued, you're tired, you're grumpy, you have an attitude all the time. And, you know, it's because you're not really doing what you want to do. Me, I'm like, well, I just can't, like, I'm coming to a transition and point in my life where I can't be just sitting up here making somebody else rich, and I have the skill set to make myself significantly more than what any traditional company can pay me for. Again, I realize my time is more valuable. And I know we talk about the sneaker thing, and that is one aspect of it. That's one aspect of it, but I'm not talking to you guys and gals about just the sneaker thing, but I'm talking about putting yourself in a position to make sure you're happy and you utilize your time appropriately. Because I guess this is something that's really heavy on my heart, obviously, because why would I come here and talk about it? But I feel like majority of us spend a lot of time living life unhappy, doing things for other people where we really don't do things for ourselves. And here's the kicker. If we get in position to do these things for ourselves, we can then help and do things for other people on the flip side. But think about it. Again, with a traditional job, if you don't love it, for those that aren't, you know, meant to run a business, because business isn't for everybody. Everybody's not disciplined to the point where they can run a business and you know, have taxes filed for their business or operate and utilize the finances correctly for their business. Everybody's not gifted or mature enough to do that. So for those of you that aren't, even when you're working, you want to make sure you're at a job or somewhere that's making you happy and you're getting the best out of what you do. You enjoy and you love what you do. But back to the business side of it, like I just can't see spending 8.5, 9 hours, some 9+, a job telling you have to work mandatory overtime, right? Tell you when you can take a break, when you can go to the bathroom, when you can eat, when you can take time off, how long you can take time off for before you got to come back to them and do your job. I can't conform to that. I can't. So that's the reason why I create legitimate, people call it like legitimate side hustles. Business. You know, that's why I created an LLC for my clothing line. You know, that's why I do the sneaker education thing. That's why I do the sneaker thing. And it's just a couple of things. That's why I did the book. These are things that are going to put me in a position where I don't have to depend on an employer, and it's going to allow me my own time to do the things that I like, love to do, want to do with my family. You get what I'm saying? Jump on other endeavors and not have to worry about every other week getting a paycheck. And people work and they have this fear for job security, and it's so sad. Or they feel like they won't, you know, my benefits, my 401k. Don't you know? We may not, or my Social Security, my pension. Don't you know that we may not be around, not us, Lord forgive me, but that may not be around by the time we hit retirement? Because most of us in my core audience, you guys range anywhere from freaking 16 to maybe 50. And retirement age, if I'm not mistaken, is 67 right now. Who's going to be working until they're 67 years old for a retirement that's not even going to be enough money to take care of you and your daily living? You're not going to be able to afford it anyway. So this is what we're working for. This is what we're working for. And also, like I say, living check to check, waiting for our check to come so we can pay utilities or insurances and things like that, and then be broke all over again. And like I was saying, prior to me even just getting into that, the simple fact that job security, it's not secure at all. Your benefits aren't secure at all. You know, every job that you go into, that all of us that work or that are in the working world, tell me how secure this is. If you go into a place, your place of employment, and they say, Sean, we decided to downsize. We don't need you today. Sorry. You know, that's not very secure to me. Anytime you depend on somebody else for your living, that's not secure. So job security is a facade. It's not secure. Any day, somebody's fate, if you're going to be there working and getting a paycheck, is in their hand, you're not very secure at all. So I'd rather put that in my own hands. I'd rather be the one that determines whether or not I'm gonna pay me or not. And also too, man, like look at it from this standpoint. You also got to worry about if you call out. What if you go through a family situation, right? And you're not at your job long enough that you can get like some kind of family medical leave, or your job doesn't offer that type of thing. What if they don't, right? And you have to call out or be late time after time because you're handling things that need attention, that need to be taken care of. And they say, hey, Mike, sorry, man, but you've missed too much time. We got to let you go. They have no compassion for you and your family life. All these jobs care about is what you can do for them to make them more money. So why not do that for yourself? Why not? If you're disciplined. Again, disclaimer, I'm not telling anybody to get up out of their seat at the office, leave their job, just be like, I quit, and you don't have any type of contingency plan. Don't put yourself or your family in a situation like that. Again, what I'm saying is you have to use wisdom. Use wisdom. Set yourself up so you can be self-employed. Or set yourself up, get the proper credentials, skill set. Go to school. For those that aren't, business isn't for you. Get the proper credentials and notches under your belt that you can do the job you love and make significantly more money and be happy. Again, going back to the beginning, because life is too short. Who has time to spend their life in an unhappy place for a long time? Believe it. Majority of people do it. And I think the dude, Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker, don't hold me on this, man, but I think it was him that said majority of dreams of individuals are in the graveyard. What does he mean by that? He mean people die with their dreams still in them and they never accomplish what it is they want to accomplish. People can hate all they want. You're gonna have haters, man. Like, I've learned that years, like past few years, I've learned that you're gonna have haters, especially again when you're exposing the truth. You get what I'm saying? When you're doing things that's not the trend, when you're being the trendsetter, all right, you're gonna have it just comes with the territory. Use that as motivation, because people are always going to disagree with what you got going on or what you want to do whenever it's not the norm, like working a traditional 9 to 5, because that's what society teaches us is safe. You get what I'm saying? And especially if you're an entrepreneur and it's in you, it's in your spirit, like you have the spirit of an entrepreneur, what's going to happen is, again, owners of a company and company workers will never think the same. Their thoughts will always contradict each other. They will always collide. Because the company workers, I don't know if you realize, but like managers and supervisors are so gung-ho for a company because that's how they're programmed. Because people are used to being told what to do. You hear me say it all the time. Opposed to being the ones that are kind of called out, and the ones call us the weirdos and the eyeballs because we go against the grain and we're like, no, this doesn't make sense. And as soon as you don't conform, it creates a contradiction, or it creates some kind of a clash, for lack of terms. But just think about it. It's your boy. Y'all have a good day. I'm out.